Welcome to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Now here's your host, Tim McMahon.
Hey, it's Tim. Thanks for tuning into this video edition of Less Than 12 Parsecs. Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Yes, a video edition because I have something to show you guys. Now, longtime listeners of the show will know when I have something to show you, it's normally a package that I want to open up live on the show, and you can see me unwrap what's inside. What's been in those packages? Well, it's always been a classic Kenner Star Wars action figure. I didn't have these as a kid. I didn't have many. So now I'm going back and trying to rebuild that missing part of my childhood, try to build that collection. Of the 90 plus figures they put out, I have more than a dozen, less than 2 dozen. I have a long way to go. Originally, I was doing these once a month on the show, but I have very poor follow through on everything, not just stuff on the show, but just in real life. I was going to do this once a month. I haven't done it in a long time. Today's package comes from Mr. Ryan Dassing, a longtime listener of the show, and he sent me some of the other classic Kenner Star Wars action figures. I don't know he sent me a classic Kenner Star Wars action figure. He just said, hey, I have a package for you in celebration of your 200th episode. He sent me some other Kenner action figures in the past, so I think I'm safe in making that bet. I don't know. But before we do open it up, and I'm going to open it up live on the audio edition. This is just a video preamble. Before we do, I just want to show you guys some other stuff going on here in the fan cave. The fan cave also coincidentally named by Mr. Ryan Dassing. All right, so what do I got to show you? Well, first off, a new camera. Yeah, check it out. You can't see it, but check it out. It's definitely a lot better than the built-in webcam in my computer. Higher quality picture. You can see the background. Forgive the mess. I got books I need to put away and log into my database, and I got a mess on the floor, and the shelves are a mess. Anyway, forget about it. A couple downsides to this camera, stuff I'm still trying to figure out. Well, it's the audio. I don't like the audio. It has a built-in microphone, but when you use that, you just get like a very hollow, tinny, empty room sound. Right now, plugged into it is a little clip-on microphone.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
And I'm not happy with the sound of this either. It's too muffly, too heavy. But hey, for right now, it's good enough. Guys, remember, this podcast of mine is just a hobby. I'm not a professional podcaster. There are professional podcasters out there. There are professional fans out there. I'm just a guy who likes to do this as a hobby when I have a few spare moments because it's fun. Yeah, this is fun to me. So I do it when I can. If I were a professional podcaster, if I were a professional fan, I would start a Patreon. I haven't done that. And I mention that because Ryan Dassing has said to me many times, hey, because you don't do a Patreon, I'm going to send you a package every now and then, just as my appreciation for the show. Thank you so much, Ryan. I don't know what to say. Thank you. That's all I can say. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. He sent me this new package in celebration of the 200th episode of Less Than 12 Parsecs. So let's get to today's episode, the 205th episode. I'm going to open up this package in the audio version of the show. Let's cut to that right now. Hey, it's Tim. Welcome to this episode of Less Than 12 Parsecs. Hey, for all you audio listeners, just want to let you know that there is also a video edition of today's episode, a longer, expanded video edition. So you can check that out on our YouTube account or over on 12parsecsPodcast.com. Links in the show notes. Why is it a video edition? Well, just like all other video editions of the show I've done, it's when I have something I want to show you guys. I have received another package in the mail, and I want to open it up live on the show, and I want you guys to learn what's in the package the same time I do. I want you to see it. It's like Christmas morning here for me today. This package comes from a longtime listener, a good friend, Mr. Ryan Dassing. He has said to me many times, hey Tim, since you don't do a Patreon, I'm going to send you a package as my appreciation for the show. Thank you so much, Ryan. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. There are not enough words in my head to get it out of my mouth to put into your ears. He sent me a package in celebration of the 200th episode. Now, in the past, he has sent me some great classic Kenner Star Wars action figures. I am slowly building a collection of those. I have more than a dozen. I got a long way to go to get all 90 plus. I didn't have them as a child, didn't have many of them anyway. So I'm trying to do that now. Speaking of which, if you have classic Kenner Star Wars action figures you want to send me, hey, please do. I will pay fair market value price, but I'll also accept freebies. I'm looking for loose. I'm looking for clean, near mintish. I'm looking for accessories if you got them, if you can. Just something that's going to look good on the shelf. That's all I want to do. Just want to have that nice pretty Star Wars shelf with all the classic Kenner Star Wars action figures. So anyway, let's open up today's package from Mr. Ryan Dassing and find out if he sent me a new classic Kenner Star Wars action figure. Again, I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. All right, here's the package all the way from Maryland to Maine. Now, people watching the video edition can tell that I have opened the package, but I haven't looked inside yet. This is all new to me. Putting my hand in. Oh, first thing is bubble wrap. Oh yeah, bubble wrap, baby. Love me the bubble wrap. I'm just gonna zone out now, get into a zen state, and pop some bubbles. And this is better than meditation or any drug you could take. All right, enough of the bubble wrap. Let's see what else is in here. Oh. I put my hand in the package, and I feel a card, as in a carded action figure, as in, oh my god, there's no way he sent me a classic Kenner action figure on a card. Let's find out. No, he did not. I would not expect such a thing. But he did send me a classic Hasbro action figure, an Episode 1 action figure. It is Rick Olié. Rick Oli. This is so cool because, as you guys all know, one of my favorite Twitter accounts these days is Rick_Olié_quote. This is awesome. I don't know enough about modern action figures to know if this is a 1999 original or just something that's been reproduced since. I need to find out. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep it boarded up on the card, unopened. Part of me, my initial thought is, you know what? I should forward this on. I should pay it forward and send it to Rick_Olié_quote. But I'm going to be selfish and keep it for myself. This is awesome. This is going to look great hanging up. Thank you so much, Ryan. Now, he said there's some small stuffs in there, too. He did warn me about that. All right, speaking of small stuff. Oh, a cool little pin with a Stormtrooper helmet. As the video viewers can see, I have a bunch of Stormtrooper helmets and action figures on my shelves already. I'm going to add this to that collection. Just coincidentally, about 2-3 weeks ago, someone gave me a Darth Vader pin. I have it hanging up my bulletin board. I'm going to stick this right next to it in a place of honor. All right, I felt something else in here. Stickers! Yes! Right over here, I have a door full of stickers. Ryan has sent me some stickers for that before, and I will add these with honor to those other stickers. I know Ryan's a big fan of the Steele Wars podcast. It's a great show. Your Snoke theory sucked. Past tense. That's awesome. Porg and Porg and Porg and Porg. Awesome and awesome and awesome and awesome. And then finally, the Old Line Garrison Cog. Just coincidentally, I'm wearing my Cog t-shirt today. How about that? This is the classic Imperial Cog, but with the Old Line Garrison colors in the center. That is great. All right, one last thing. Oh my god, it is like a treasure trove, a cornucopia of Star Wars awesomeness. It is a Funko Pop pen. Yep, it's a pen with Chewbacca. That is so appropriate with Solo just 30 some odd days away. Ryan, I promise you, I will save this pen and I will use it to sign my contract with Lucasfilm when they hire me to write, direct, star in episode 12. So thank you for that. All right, Ryan, thank you so much for this package. That was great. Thank you guys for listening as I opened it up. I feel like a jerk for prefacing this saying it's probably a Star Wars classic Kenner action figure. It wasn't, but that's okay. Rick Olié is just as awesome. Hey guys, if you have anything you want to send me, be it a classic Kenner Star Wars action figure or anything else, I'm not going to say no to your packages. I promise to open them up live on the show. Just send me an email, 12parsecs.podcast@gmail.com, or connect with me on any of my social media accounts. All the links can be found on my website, 12parsecs.podcast.com. Thanks for listening. Utini! Alright folks, thanks for tuning in to the video edition of Less Than 12 Parsecs. Thanks for sitting through all of that goofiness. These are, for me, the most fun episodes to do, and it's not because I'm getting stuff, even though that's awesome. It's fun because I don't know what's coming. It's fun because it lets me know there's people out there who like this crap that I do. I'm not a professional podcaster. I'm not even a professional fan. I barely devote any time at all to this show. I just do it when I have some free time honestly, I usually do them when I'm at work, which I shouldn't be doing, but you gotta pass the time somehow. So it's just so much fun. So I'm gonna wrap it up now. Again, seriously, if you have something you want to send me, it doesn't have to be a classic Kenner Star Wars action figure, even though those are what I really am trying to get my hands on. Heck, send me a postcard. I love postcards. Speaking of postcards, I had this idea in my head that since I don't do a Patreon, and I don't do a Patreon because I don't really put out that much content, or at least in my mind, I don't put out enough content to warrant a Patreon. But I had this idea. I'll do a Star Wars postcard club. So once a month, I'll create myself a Star Wars postcard, and then I'll sell them for like $1.50. And I thought, $1.50 will cover my costs to, have these printed off and the postage, and maybe I'll make 5-10 cents on each postcard that I can put towards covering the cost of hosting and other things that I have to pay for on this podcast. I looked into it, $1.50, heck, even $3 wouldn't really cover my cost unless I had a lot of people buying postcards. So that's an idea I've put aside for now. Maybe in the future I'll revive it. If you have any interest in the Star Wars postcard club, if you think that's a good idea, let me know. It's just an idea right now. I haven't put anything down on paper or online. It's just an idea. Maybe in the future I'll bring it back. Maybe I won't. I'm the king of starting things and not following through on them. As longtime listeners of the show will know, how many segments have I started and then never done again after 3 or 4 times. So anyway, I get bored easily. Some wires loose upstairs. All right, before I wrap it up, I forgot. I wanted to show you guys one other thing for future episodes of Less Than 12 Parsecs I hope to do. For future video episodes, that is. I got me some green screen. Yeah, let's see if I can make that work. Let's see if I can become the next ILM master of special effects. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. We'll see. It's just old cloth from a pool table. I don't even know if it's the right color green. I got a lot of work to do. Who knows? Maybe I won't follow through on that either. You never know. That's the way I am. It's the way it is. It's the way I am. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning into this video edition of Less Than 12 Parsecs. Please check out the website, 12parsekspodcast.com. Follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, on Instagram, on Tumblr. Please leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Remember, any 5-star review you leave on iTunes or Stitcher, you get your own episode of Less Than 12 Parsecs, a whole mini episode dedicated just to you and your review. Please do that. It helps us find new listeners. I really appreciate it. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go. Thanks for putting up with my rambles. See you next time.
You've been listening to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. For links and show notes, visit our website, 12parsekpodcast.com. Follow Less Than 12 Parsecs on Twitter at 12parpod, on Instagram at 12parsekspodcast, on Tumblr at 12parsekspodcast, and find us on Facebook as well. And please let us know what you think. Email us at 12parsekspodcast@gmail.com. Ootini!